Hi everyone, thanks for stopping in today. I had a request. Someone wanted to see the baby blankets that I made, so I thought I would just oblige and give you a show. This was the first blanket that I made. My supervisor is Navajo. She is expecting a little girl. We cannot give her presents before the baby is born, so I made this to give to her afterwards. What I did was YouTube, you guys are amazing. I went online to figure out a Navajo stitch, and the first thing that came up was the Navajo diamond, so that is what I made here. So yeah, I do I'm just, everything's in my head, so I don't draw it out ahead of time, I don't write it out ahead of time, I don't plan it out ahead of time. I just kind of go with it. So in this instance, I started off with the pink and the green, and I did what looks like 1, 2.5 of the pink. Then I went with my split level of white or cream. Actually, it's cream. And then I did 1, 2, 3.5 of the pink and green, and then went ahead and did a little variation here. Let me just put this out so you can kind of see. So I'm one of those symmetrical folks, so if I start it out a certain way and then I break it up and do my different pattern in the middle, then I have to finish it in the same way that it got started. And I'm sure that's just a lot of people, a lot of crocheters. It's just the way it is. You want it to end and start and end the same exact way. So this was the first baby blanket that I made in the Navajo diamond pattern that I found on YouTube. Thank you very much. But yeah, this turned out to be a little bit bigger than a newborn's blanket, so my thoughts are she can have this blanket from newbie to toddler. But I think it turned out really, really well. Because it is a baby blanket, the way it was each row was a brand new row. You had to make a brand new row. Everything went in one direction. So there is a little bit of fringe here. I'm going to knot them all again so that they do not come unraveled, or do not come off. But with it being a baby blanket, I didn't think I wanted to leave the fringe on there. But in this instance, I left the fringe small enough that I think it'll be okay. You can either weave those edges in, but for the most part, the Navajo rugs all have a fringe on them. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave it. The nice thing is it's just small enough that I don't think it will be an issue or a problem with the baby. But that was the first baby blanket I made in the Navajo diamond pattern. I really like the way it came out. Yes. Second baby blanket that I made, and I wanted there to be different stitchings and different styles of stitchings, was this one here. I used it's kind of like a block stitch, but not. It's clusters of double crochets in 3 with a single chain in the middle. That's where these different colors come in. But again, this one turned out really big as well because I wanted to follow my color pattern. So I started out pink and green, green and white, white and pink, 2 of that, again with the pink and white, green and white, pink and white, I'm sorry, cream. All of this is the pink, mint green, and cream. And then just repeated it till it was done. This one I am weaving in all my ends. And again, I had to change colors for each one, so I did have, it looks like fringe, but we are not leaving it as fringe. It's just the leftover tails. So as you can see, I am weaving in all of the ends here. All of my tails are getting woven in on this one here. So this one is almost finished because I just have to finish weaving in all of these tails. My least favorite job, my least favorite part of any project that I do, if I'm not going to leave the tails as fringe, is weaving them all in. And then I think, tell me what you think. Ideas are always welcome. I was thinking once I got all of the tails woven in, I was going to maybe do a border to cover and make sure that they don't come out. And I think I was going to do the border in the pink all the way around in the double crochet 2 times instead of 3. Let me know your opinions on that. But that's the second baby blanket that I made. And again, it's going to take this baby from birth to toddler because I did want to finish my pattern, and so it turned out to be a little bit bigger than I planned. But yeah, but leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about possibly weaving in all these ends and maybe doing a border around the whole thing. I have so many works in progress that they're laying everywhere about the house. This is one that I started at least 3 years ago. I leave my needles or crochet hooks with them. This one started out to be a sweater. Don't know if I'm gonna stay with that or if I'm just making an abstract blanket. Started out with some crazy little designs in the center, and then just kind of worked around from there and switched it up and added designs and added little snippets of things here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, so this one, I think I'm just going to keep going till I run out of yarn, and right now this is what I have left in this particular coloration. What is this? This is the Mandala in Thunderbird. Thunderbird, is that it? Mandala in, yeah, Thunderbird. So that's just another project that's been lying about and getting worked on in phases. Whenever I can get the energy up to pick it up. I also have this work in progress, which you've actually seen me do videos on. This is all my scrap yarns. The cat, as you can see, commandeered this. But these were all my scrap yarns, and I have so much more scrap yarn now. So I do need to get busy and get back into doing this here. As you can see, there are just started out with 1 stitch, did another. I guess it's all called abstract, if you will, or just whatever comes to mind when I change the color and figure out where I want to go from there. So this is another work in progress. I actually have videos of me working on this one here. This one is being made of all my scrap yarns. So here's where we've left off. I have gone ahead and balled up all the other scrap yarns I have left from a few other projects and plan to get these going again. So there's that one. A couple of these were going to be for family members, but since then it's taken me so long to get these done. Again, this is another one that I was using mandalas in Sphinx. And yeah, all in Sphinx. And these were when Joann's or Walmart were having their amazing sales. So all my yarns that I do make things out of, most of them I do get them on clearance or on sale. I get lucky that way. Very seldom do I have to go out and find yarn for a specific project. The baby blankets were the first thing that I literally had to go out and buy yarn for. But the lucky thing is I happened to walk in Joann's as they were doing their 60% off plus another 25% off their yarns. And so I grabbed what I thought I would need for those baby blankets, and now I've got more left over. I think I spent $1.80 for each one of these skeins. And then, oh, hold on a second. Somehow we got real close. Oh my God, have I? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Alrighty, so I think I spent like $1.80 on each one of these skeins by the time it was done, and some of them may have gone down to $1 because I went back to get more of the mint green and the pink, thinking I was going to need more for those blankets. Wound up I had gotten just the right amount. And like I said, this was another Afghan that I had started in just an abstract fashion. Alrighty, and right now I'm just kind of using a sofa table, if you will, to try and film this on. My husband has commandeered my actual filming table, so I'm just trying to squeeze everything in, so it may look like you're really close, and that's because I had to bring it in a little bit to just make sure I got this and nothing else. So anyway, I am finally using up this yarn. I had like eight rolls of these that I spindled into these little balls here with my yarn winder. I thought it's time. These were probably the oldest yarns that I have had in my stash for quite a while now, and finally decided I better get to making something out of them. So what I am doing, let me move a few things out of the way here. I decided to make a lapgan, or an afghan, in a shorter version, and a narrower version, I should say. So go from there to there. I think I'm about maybe 4 feet, 3.5, 4 feet wide. I'm just gonna go until the yarn runs out. So far I have used like 1.5 that I had balled up, and then now I am on to the ones that I have winded up into these beautiful little cakes, if you will, with my yarn winder. So now I'm working on those, and right now I have 4 of those, which are like 2 skeins, maybe 2.5 skeins each. So this is the project I just literally started, and this is what you do. You learn a new stitch and then you do a new project. So anyway, this is the block stitch. It's a 2-row repeat. So this is the block stitch. It is very intense, if you will. So I went with a smaller crochet hook. This called for like a 5 or 5.5, and I am using a, don't know if you can see it, a 4. So I just wanted it to be a tighter stitch. So that's what I'm doing here. It is very, very labor intensive, if you will. But I'm that person that once I get in the zone, I just want to keep going. I was up till 2:30 last night working on this, and I think when I started I was half, and I doubled it yesterday. It's very, very time intensive for these types of things. That's why if somebody gives you a crocheted gift or a knitted gift or a sewn gift, they did take the time to put that effort in. And a lot of times I customize it for whomever I am giving it to. So this will probably take me, like I said, some of these things, I start them, I take a break, literally years to finish sometimes, unless, like the baby blankets, I have a specific time frame. So what we're doing is a double crochet that we don't finish, going back in and under, another double crochet, pull it together. Then you just go into the next single crochet and pull through. And then this is a double crochet under the loop. Don't finish it. Go back in with a double crochet, grab another one, drag it through 2, drag it through all 3, and take it into the next single crochet and pull it through. So easy, but such a really cool, really pretty stitch. Goes a lot better when you're trying to do it, not trying to do it through a camera lens. And into the next single crochet and pull through and single crochet. And then when you get to the end, you come back around, and what you're doing is what they call a single crochet in the front loop only, and that would be the loop closest to you. You just go through and grab the front of the loop only. What that does is that gives us our ridge for the double crochets to go into. Now this one here, it is half double crochet or double crochet that you don't finish, and you're coming up underneath and you're going in like so. Pull it up, grab that loop right below, above the double crochet block stitch from below, go back in, pull through 2, pull through all 3, and single crochet and finish. And then you just repeat that. It's a 2-row repeat, but like I said, it is so pretty and so solid. It is so thick. So if you've got a warmer, or I'm sorry, a colder climate, and you want to help keep somebody warm, this is really cool stitch to go with. My current work in progress. And then the back side is just so nice and flat. It's really cool. So then you all saw me, I believe, at Joann's when I was getting the clearance yarn that I did not need, but I got it anyway, because you never know. Sorry, I am so sorry. Don't mean to be bouncing you all over the place here. But this was some of the yarn that I had gotten. This was also the Big Twist. I had never gotten any of the Big Twist yarn before, but I'm absolutely loving it. Thankfully, if I ever want more, I believe Joann's is picking it up, and I believe there is an actual site that you can go to now and get the Big Twist yarns. This is the Big Twist yarn in Pink Berry. And that is what it looks like, and I just love the brightness of that color. Sorry, didn't mean to get all excited there. So far, this has been 2 skeins, or I'm sorry, 1.5 skeins in this progress. And I think I got this, it was like $7-8 a skein, and it was clearanced out at $224, I believe it was. And then they had the extra 25% off that day, so it was a good price. Let's just say that it was a real good price. So what I decided to do here was a twist on the block stitch. Okay, I decided to do the same thing, but the yarn was so thick. I had started out with a smaller crochet hook, but literally I couldn't even get it to do what I wanted because it was so tight and so close. So what I did was I went with a larger hook. I believe it asked for 5.5, which converted to a 9mm. So I went with that. So I have a 9mm crochet hook that I am using. And what I did was I decided to have my own little version here. These were all in multiples of 2. So really easy. You just multiples of 2, get it going. I start with a line of single crochet, and then I come back, you single crochet into the first one. I did a double crochet into every other loop. I did a front loop only when I was coming back around again. Front loop only gives you these little ridges here that you can pull up on. So what I decided to do is, this almost looks like a waffle stitch, but it's not. Waffle stitch, you actually come down and you go behind the stitch below and pull it through that way. This one here, I decided to do the same thing I'm doing with the block stitches and just pick it up each row above in the loop above right there. So it almost looks like a waffle stitch, but is not. Works up nice and fast and nice and easy, but this yarn is, oh, it's so gorgeous. And as you can see, it's color changing. This one changed quite a bit here, but it all flows together nicely. I made sure to get all the same lot numbers on the dies so that they would work through, because this one looked really dark, whereas that one looked really light, and then that one looked really yellow. But I made sure to get all of the same lot numbers. As you can see, they're just still coming out differently. Oh, throwing stuff around now. All coming out just a tad bit different. So this one here is going to be a cowl, and then I'm going to make a hat to match. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this one up the way that I am. I may twist it and bring the edges together, or I may just keep it in the round and then bring the edges together and crochet them together once I'm done. Or like I said, I may twist it so that we have the twist in the cowl. Not sure yet. So, and then the other side is flat. Alrighty, and I started putting things away and realized I hadn't shown you how I was doing this one. So like I said, it was a variation on the block stitch. What you do is in the first stitch, you do a single crochet under both loops, bring it on up. Then what I was doing was a single double crochet into the loop above the previous double crochet. I've not worked with really thick yarns before, but this one, even though it's thick, it is still so soft. Okay, then you'll do inside the two loops, single crochet. Then you, oh, and what I was doing here, let me go back. Whereas with the other one, I went under the loop and pulled it up, this one I've been going over. I don't know if it makes a difference, but it just does a little something different. Okay. And then again, go through the next loop under both, pull it through, single crochet. Then we are taking a double crochet, and I am going through the top, not underneath, pulling it through, pulling it through. Single crochet under both loops here, pull it through, and then double crochet into the loop right above the next one, going in from the top down. Double crochet through the top, through, pull through, into the next single, pull through, double crochet through the next one, single crochet, double crochet, and since this one is a nice short row, I'm going to take you all the way down to the end and then show you what I meant by coming back with a single crochet in the front loop only to give us this little ridge right here. Okay, we are at our last double crochet, going into the loop above it, pull it through, finish it off. The last stitch, we are going to go through the two loops, single crochet, pull it up, and single crochet. We are going to come to the back side now. This is where we're going to do the single crochet all the way back, but in the front loops only. The first one, you are going to go under both loops, pull through, and finish. Now from here, you're going to go into just the front loop, single crochet, front loop, single crochet, front loop, like I said, the thicker yards, they're easy and rough all at the same time. At least that's what I'm finding. And it could just be me trying to crochet through a lens too. I'm so used to picking up the whole loop. So making sure you're just going through the front loop facing you. And I do apologize. I believe it's 107 degrees here today. So the AC is running, and I don't believe it stopped since I started this video. Hopefully maybe it's a soothing background noise. Okay, and we're almost to the end. And this is the same thing you do for the block stitch. You come back with the single row crochet in the front loops only. And then when you get to the last one, you go through both. You go under both loops, pull it up, single crochet, and a single crochet, or chain, if you will. Okay, and then you just repeat. The first one, you always go under both loops with a single crochet, double crochet into the loop below it. It's really nice. After the first 2 rows, you don't really need to count every other because you can just see where it's going to go. That other double crochet is always going to go into the loop above your last double crochet. So nice thing is, once you get those first 2 rows done, no counting, you just do. And a lot of times I'll work in the round on these, but with this particular stitch, I just want it to go back and forth and then join them at the very last. This is just a small sample of my works in progress. I think I showed you my 2 abstracts, my scrap GAN, my block stitch lap GAN, if you will, and then this collar, or this cowl that I'm making here. I think I have a whole nother afghan that I'm making in the waffle stitch. I guess I should have brought that up so I could have showed you the difference between this and what the waffle stitch looks like. I do believe I have another sweater. I made a shawl, and you might have seen that in the one of my last crochet videos. It was the really pretty like wine color yarn that I was taking apart. I made a shawl. Turned out really nice. It was a new stitch that I had learned, and I just went with it and finished it. But then I didn't like the way it hung when I tried to put it on, or when I had it on my mannequin. So I wound up taking it and just kind of frogging it as I go and making a different type of sweater out of it, like a cardigan kind of sort of. So yeah, sometimes I can spend forever on a project, get it finished, not like the way it looks or lays, take it apart and make something else. That's the great thing about crochet, knit, yarn. You can make it for the fun of it, for the exercise, to learn that new stitch. And if you just don't like it, you take it apart and you make something else. So that is another work in progress with the yarn I just got from Joann's. I just thought while I was showing you the baby blankets that I made, I thought I'd show you what I'm working on now as well. All right, everybody, thank you so much for stopping in. This one was not so much ASMR as just works in progress because someone had asked to see the baby blankets that I made. Thank you so much for stopping in. Have a great day. Take care, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.